Hey everybody, it is Prince's Friend, and we are back with the third review for Graffiti Bridge Week. This one's a good one because I kind of dreamed of being this kid when I was also a kid. We're both adults now. And this review is for T.E.V.I.N. by Tevin Campbell. It was his debut album, which was released in November of 1991. But it was certified platinum in 1994 because it was an amazing hit for him. I mean, it's kind of crazy. So Tevin got hooked up with Prince via Quincy Jones, and then this young artist was basically on loan to Prince so he could do Graffiti Bridge, but it wasn't, entirely a altruistic thing. He really liked the kid and he wanted to help him, so by attaching Tevin's name to this project and also making Round and Round one of the singles off of the album, it actually heightened the awareness of Tevin Campbell so that when his first album came out, it made a big hit. That's why this album is amazing and why it sold so well. So Round and Round is the only Prince contribution to this album specifically. The rest of the album was produced and written primarily by Albie Shore and Kyle West, who were two really big heavyweights in the industry at the time, especially Albie Shore. I love him. Tevin himself didn't actually have any hand in writing the songs. I've gotten more used to that now because I usually have a thing about if the person didn't write it themselves, then I kind of lose a little bit of respect for them. But sometimes people just have really good voices, and they're good instruments to get out a certain idea. So as long as the voice is on point, I guess it's okay. Tevin's definitely was at that age. I'm not exactly sure if he ends up taking more control over the writing and stuff as his career goes along, but I'll try and do maybe some more reviews for Tevin Campbell stuff later on, and we'll see. Now let's get to those tracks. So the first track is actually Round and Round, kind of throwing it on right up front to say like, hey, remember this guy? This is who you want, because remember, the album was released a year after Graffiti Bridge came out, so it was more of a kind of a reminder like, boom, this is the soul mix edit, and it's a slightly altered version from the version that's on Graffiti Bridge. Like I said before, it's a good song, it's got a catchy melody and a hook. This version isn't that much different, except that there's a little bit of arrangement changes, and there's a breakdown in the middle, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, same great song. So after a brief intro track, we get to Tevin's huge hit that he had. It reached number 6 on the Billboard Top 100 and number 1 on the Adult Contemporary chart, ironically enough. Tell Me What You Want Me to Do was really good, but it was only a year later, and you could already hear that Tevin's voice had already matured past what he did on Round and Round. So like right away, it already sounds very different. It's a Let's Stay Together type song, which is a staple for R&B and pop albums, but I'm not used to that type of track being, the very first track, essentially. He sings it wonderfully, though.
You're so attracted to those older guys. Tell me why. Why do you wanna be so rather spend your time with Superfly and pass me by. Baby, don't shut me on, Little Brother.
So Little Brother is a cute song. It's about Tevin, who's 15, and he's trying to get with a 17-year-old girl. Of course, if they had made her any older, that would have been kind of gross. He's basically saying, though, like, I'm young, but I'm not your little brother. It's got a cool New Jack kind of beat, which was very popular at the time. But Tevin doesn't do any real vocal gymnastics on this song. It is good, though, but it is a little suggestive for a young artist. At the same time, I'm thinking about Britney Spears when she first came out, and I guess hypersexualizing our young singers is just a thing.
That's why.
So Alone With You, the way that I see it is it's really kind of about teenage sexual attraction, kind of giving you a look into what it's like to be that age again with your hormones going all crazy. They hold hands and they talk on the phone, and he really wants it to go farther, but it seems like she's hesitant, so she's pulling away from him because he keeps pushing her, and the song is actually an apology about doing that. This is probably the best song on the whole album. Alone With You hit number 62 on the top 100, which isn't that great, even though it's like the best song on the album, again, in my opinion.
Stained window, yellow candy screen, 6 speakers of kites, with velvet roses, taking freedom flight. A present from you, a strawberry letter 22. The music plays are searching for you.
So this is a cover of a classic The Brothers Johnson song from 1971. If you listen to them back to back, they aren't very similar musically. They're both really great though, because they carry the same really attractive melody. This kind of song is great for a young musician because it makes him more accessible to an older audience, and that probably worked in Tevin's case and why he was, you know, charting on adult contemporaries charts and whatnot.
If we all sing one song of love, one song of peace, one song to make all our troubles cease. Wanna hear.
This song reminds me of some Michael Jackson tracks. It's all about bringing everybody together to sing one song. I think it's a sweet song, but it doesn't really seem to fit Tevin Campbell's voice, in my opinion. There are parts where I'd want him to push farther than I think his range can actually do, and it sounded like he was really struggling. It's a good song, though. So this is another I'll Be Sure track with Chubb Rock on there to add a rap in there. This is a song to the girl that he wants, and he knows she wants him to, and she's being held back by peer pressure. So pretty straightforward message. The rap, though, seemed to kind of interrupt the track instead of enhancing it. I've never really heard of Chubb Rock anywhere but here, so I don't know if this was maybe his big break and it just didn't work out for him. It's an okay track.
You didn't need my love. You never be that way to me.
So this is a song about a girl who treats you so bad that you just have to say goodbye. And the beat is really catchy. The song really fits Tevin's voice well. And I like the harmonizing and the climbing key changes of the chorus a lot. Musically, it has a similar New Jack beat of the era, but not to the level of some, where like sometimes all the songs sound the same. I think this was an expertly produced track.
Oh, since I met you, such a perfect world. What a boy and girl can find. What they need to do for a life of love. Such a perfect world is mine.
So I have to say, I listened a lot to this album when I was younger, and when I was coming back to it for the review, I didn't remember that this song existed. So listening to it again, really you can kind of tell why. Musically, it's kind of boring. The lyrics are cliched. It's really forgettable. He sings it well, but it's pretty skippable. So Confused was a single. It peaked at number 33 on the Hot 100 charts, which is pretty darn good. He actually shows off his lower and higher ranges in the song really well. It's about him figuring out if he wants to be with the girl that wants him. He's confused about his emotions. For me, it's weird because just a few songs ago, he was all you have to do is ask me, and I'm there. Again, I think it's showing off the kind of the craziness of teenage hormones.
Look what we had, were mine. Oh, baby, good things we had.
So this song is Tevin describing what it would be like for his girl if she were to say yes to him and be his girlfriend. He'd do anything. He doesn't say he'd climb mountains or cross deep valleys or anything like that. We're not talking deep love here. Instead, he'd have a car that she could ride in, and he might buy her some jewelry. I mean, it almost feels kind of like it's more about buying love than it is about actually being in love. So it probably won't last. It's more like puppy love. I don't know. That might just be the cynical side of me talking. And then we get to the finale called She's All That. We get back to the faster tempo, and the song is about how awesome this girl that he's into is. He's watching her dance and just can't deny his feelings. The chorus has actually a cool horn section to it, which makes it really stand out against the rest of the album and actually makes this song really great. Tevin even raps on it, which is kind of crazy. It's not a great rap, mind you, but he gives it his best. I think Goodbye had more energy for a finale track, but this one is an okay finale. INCONCLUSION. So it's been a while since I had listened to this album, but it really brings back a lot of really good memories. I had dreams of being Tevin Campbell and being discovered by Prince. Alas, that wasn't in the cards for me, but I think this was a really strong showing for Tevin. It got him a bunch of hits. I think you should go check it out. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and may you live to see the dawn.